Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I have been MIA for the past 3 months. If you don't know me, my name is Myra, and today I will be showing you guys how to achieve this look, and I will be using the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, so stay tuned if you want to learn how to recreate it. Okay, so I already have my brows done just to save some time and, for the sake of the video. I did take some concealer by NYX, and that was just to clean up my brow. Whatever product was left after sharpening out the bottom, I dragged down to the lid. And for primer, I will be using the Lorac primer and, just blending this out into my lid with my finger. To set that primer, I will be going in with some translucent powder, and I believe I used the Laura Mercier translucent powder. Now moving on to this beautiful palette, I will be taking this shade right here, and it will go onto our crease. I will be taking that shade with a tapered fluffy brush. This is just fluffy enough to get all this product buffed into the crease. As you guys can see, I will be concentrating this shade above my crease just because we will be putting another shade right below it. For that, I will be taking a different brush, a smaller tapered one, and I will be taking this color right here and just concentrating it below that previous shade because we do want that gradient effect, the seamless blended out effect in our crease. I will be dragging this shade out towards the end of my brow or the brow tail. And now to intensify that crease, I will be taking a smaller brush. As you guys can see, it's also a tapered blending brush. And I'll be taking this color right there. And I will be concentrating this only onto my crease. I will make sure I will, keep this color below the crease. Also drag it out towards the tail. And once you have achieved what you are comfortable with, you can move on to the next step. But I will be intensifying this pretty much. I'll also be going back to the previous brush to blend everything out. And then I will be switching over to a smaller brush. And yes, mama, you need all these tools. Well, you don't need them, but it would be very helpful if you do have them. I will be taking that color and be buffing that onto this part of my crease, and as you guys can see, it really gives more definition, more depth to this eye look. I will also be taking this shade and dragging it all across my my crease. Then I will obviously be going back to the previous brush to buff everything out, make sure everything's nice and blended. Then to clean up my lid, I did take some of the same concealer that I used to clean up underneath my brow. Took that on the same brush and, just cut that crease, girl. Cut it. I moved on to a tiny baby brush. Took this shade right there and just concentrated this color onto this part of the crease. That line of separation, the concealer and the shadows, that's where I placed this color. Now moving on to the mobile eyelid, I took that shade in teal, pretty teal color in that palette, this palette, and dabbed the shade all over my lid, and I also brought it out towards the tail of the brow, as you guys can see right here. Then I moved on to this olive, a very pretty shade, and just concentrated this on the outer third of my lid. And I just wanted, a little bit of a depth going on there too. So this step is unnecessary, but I mean, you do what you want. You don't have to follow the exact same steps. You can put your little twist to it. I am placing some glitter liner by NYX onto that line of separation between the teal and the crease shades. And over top of that, I did go in with Urban Decay's Midnight Cowboy glitter liner, and I also placed it above my black liner. And as you guys can see, I did just went ahead and popped on that black liner to shorten the video, I guess. And since I did get some glitter onto the black liner, I went over top of that with some more liner to cover that glitter up. Don't forget to highlight the brow bones. I did take the second shade on the very top row of that palette as well, this one. I do have a greasy ass face, so I will be going in with this mattifying primer by Too Faced, and it smells so delish, so I would eat it if I could. I love the smell of peaches. Well, I just, buffed this into the skin. Then I went in with my Wet n Wild foundation, and as you guys can see, it's a very tiny spatula, which is inconvenient in some ways, but I mean, it is what it is, so I just roll with it. I took my Damp Beauty blender by Real Techniques and, blended everything out, and I also brought it down to my neck, because I don't want two shades, walking around with a different colored neck and a different colored face. To cover up those under eye circles, I did take the same concealer I used for my for my brows by NYX, and buff that out with the same Damp Beauty blender. To set that in place, I took my Laura Mercier translucent powder. And as you guys can see, I did bring that translucent powder up towards my nose just to give the appearance of a thinner nose. I did let it sit there for a little bit to bake. And while that was setting in, I did set the rest of my face with some setting powder. And then I just buffed away that excess translucent powder from underneath my eyes and went ahead with my bronzer. I took it around my hairline and, my cheekbones and down towards my neck. Since I have a long face, I did put some right underneath my chin. As you guys can see, I did chisel up my face. I was very out of focus, so I apologize for that. Moving on to the bottom eyelids, I took these two shades and buffed them right on the bottom lash line. Well, below the lash line, because I wanted to be like smoked out. Then I moved on to a darker shade, this one right here, and concentrated that one very close to the lash line. And I just wanted, that smoky effect going on down there. So this is why I do this. And I am very sorry, but I did also line my waterline with a teal eyeliner. Then I moved on to my blush. I took Luminoso by Milani and just buffed this onto my cheeks and, dragged it all the way back towards my hairline, towards my ears. Then I took Maybelline's Master Chrome highlighter and, buffed it onto my cheekbones, the tip of my nose, the bridge of my nose, and also my Cupid's bow. Just highlight all those areas. So once you are glowing to the gods and like a disco ball, move on to mascara. Never neglect those bottom lashes. I am taking these two. One is by by L'Oreal, and the other one is by MAC. I know the L'Oreal one is supposed to be a dupe one for the Better Than Sex, and I really truly believe it is. Just coat those bottom lashes. Move on to your liquid lipstick. In my case, I will be using this one by Smashbox. I believe it's called Always On Liquid Lipstick. I am reading the label on the bottom, so let's go with that. So guys, this brings us to the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and liked this look. If you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're new. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next video.